Welcome to Canadian Scrapbooker's Technique Taster. My name is Jackie. Today, Kelly is here to show us some really funky watercolor techniques. Now, watercoloring is really trendy right now in the scrapbooking. And I mean, it's been around forever, but it's kind of making a revisit. So Kelly today is going to show us a couple of different things for you to get started using right away on your projects at home.
Great.
Take it away, Kelly.
All right, I made this baby card, and I used the Brothers Scan and Cut to cut out this baby word, which I'm going to show you how to do.
Yes, this makes cutting, intricate cutting so easy, doesn't it?
Super easy, yes. And then I applied some watercolor effects to the baby card, and I'll show you that too.
Perfect.
So the first thing I'm going to do is to take my Scan and Cut mat, and I have on here a piece of super stock.
Yes, so Canadian Scrapbooker Super Stock. It's a really heavy weight, so that when you use watercolor or lots of inks,
it stands up to the wet media. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to load my mat first in the machine by pressing a button. I make sure my settings are good for the heavyweight paper, so you can adjust your settings for any weight of paper. I've cut plastic, cork, burlap, fabric.
And does it go through the blades quite often, or?
Not too bad. It depends on what you're cutting. Even glitter paper I cut.
Glitter paper, that's nice. Good.
All right. So,
and fabric, we should say. Or did you say that right?
Yes.
Right. Brother, and they've made it also so that it can do
fabric.
Lots
of quilters use the Scan and Cut.
Very versatile.
So I'm going to go to the first screen here. It says Pattern or Scan. I'm going to choose Pattern. Now the Scan and Cut machine actually has about over 600 shapes and cut files within the machine library, and it also has fonts. So I'm going to go into this word art image library, and I will find the word baby. I'll click on that. And
was the word baby already in there, or did you program?
Yes, it's already in there. Yeah, it's already there.
Handy.
And the next thing you want to do is you want to resize your file to whatever size you're using. Right. And this, I think, is approximately, let's say, 4 inches, 4.5 inches wide. And then you set whatever size you want, and you click Set, you click OK, and then you click Cut, and you push this green button.
Green means go,
yes,
even with the Brothers Scan and Cut.
And it just goes ahead and it cuts it.
And you can go and mix a martini or a latte, or in your case, a nice tea.
A cup of tea.
Then you'll come back and it's done.
But it's so fast, you might not have time to make your tea.
That's true. Yeah. It is fast.
Yeah, look at it go. There you go. Once it's done, you then click OK.
Yeah, don't just grab it because you're excited and pull it out. That's bad.
Bad.
Be calm.
And
push the buttons.
Click unload the mat. The machine pushes out the mat.
And just get ready. Here it comes.
Then you lift up your paper.
Oh, and you got to be careful because you don't want
now,
it to rip.
If you have some kind of curves and delicate pieces, you want to pull off carefully. And then you will leave behind.
This mat's really sticky, hey, but I guess it has to be because it needs to.
You don't want your paper to move when you're cutting at all. No, you don't. So then we'll pull it off gently and get the baby word and get the pieces out. And
there it is.
There you have it.
That worked out perfectly. Now you're going to do that watercolor thing that you're going to show us there with that. And you're using some Tombow markers?
Yes, the Tombow markers are watercolor marker.
Right.
So they're called actually dual brush pens, and they have 2 ends. One end is a brush and one end is a hard nib. We're going to use the brush end, and I'm simply going to use this plastic palette.
I've not seen this before. This is...
it's called a blending palette.
Blending palette.
Yeah, and it has a slippery surface. You could also use a craft mat.
Okay.
But Tombow has this.
Keeps it a little bit cleaner for your workstation, I guess, right?
Yeah. And I'm just going to scribble that beautiful blue color because it's a baby blue card for a boy. And I'm going to take my Tombow spritzer. It has water in it.
Of course, they have a spritzer for you. That's perfect.
Give it a few sprays, and then I will take my baby word and just
dip it in.
Smoosh it into the watercolor.
Oh, that's very pretty.
And then you can add as much as you want. Like I like an uneven watercolor effect,
right,
where there is some white showing. So I will just add a little bit more like this. And there
you go.
Is my baby
That
word.
is fast and easy watercolor. Now, the next thing that you did on this card, we'll just put the watercolor aside for a second.
Yes.
The next thing that you did on this card was the Creative Memories border punch system.
Yes.
And that's what you did here with this ribbon.
Yeah, that's a really cool system from Creative Memories. You have basically, looks like a paper trimmer, but it's not. It holds the paper. And then you have a cartridge holder and a cartridge. And this cartridge in particular is a ribbon punch.
It's going to look like that, like this.
So I pop it in here.
And so the thing with Creative Memories is that they're coming out with a whole bunch of different kinds of punches to pop in there. So you buy the system once.
Yes.
And then
you just need the cartridges, the different punches to put in there. And this side of the paper holder has these kind of notches. And these notches from the cartridge fit into here. So in essence, you're going to get a perfect punch every time. You lift up this kind of holder.
No more fussing around trying to go with your hand and get it positioned.
No, it's all done like this. You don't move. This snaps down into place. It's magnetic, so your paper doesn't move.
There you go.
And now all I do is punch and then move to the next notch. And punch
you can
and
even
move
hear it.
to
You
the
can
next
hear
notch.
it slip into the notch.
There you go, right to the end.
And you've got yourself a funky border.
Yes, you do.
And it comes all kinds of different system or designs they have right now for the border punch itself.
Yes, there's all different kinds. And then you cut the size you want.
And then you did something there with the Mayarts ribbon.
Yeah, I just took my Mayarts ribbon, and there's a million to choose from, so I probably spent, 20 minutes choosing a ribbon.
They have a lot of wonderful ribbons.
Yes, amazing choices. And then
you
I just
simply threaded it through.
Yeah, just like that. Very easy.
That is a really interesting, or not so much interesting, but easy technique for watercolor that anybody can do. And I'm excited to do that on a project. And I look forward to seeing what everybody at home is going to create with this watercolor technique. Creative Memories albums and their pre-designed pages mixed with some watercolor is what we're going to work on next. And Kelly is showing the traditional Creative Memories albums. I think it is sort of the starting point for scrapbooking many years ago, and it's still a classic album that comes in gorgeous colors.
It's a strap hinge album. And this particular album has some pre-made pages in it. So I put these two together.
Very nice.
And then, but if you go through the album, you'll see what I mean. You can actually
This is how it comes.
Yep, it just comes right like this.
Right. And then you just pop your photo.
You could just pop your photos in.
Right?
And after you can decorate it or not because it looks great just
It's
like
all
this.
ready to go.
Yeah, it is. And then you have your plastic.
Your page protectors that
protectors.
slide on. So it's different than your, your traditional 3-ring binder type things.
Yes,
They're
it is.
very famous for their strap hinge.
They are. And you know why? Because it lays flat.
Always lays flat.
Yes, one of the few
that's the
albums
thing.
that just is totally flat and you have a very nice visual.
And they also have pocket pages.
Yes, they came out with these new pocket pages, and this line in particular has 4x6 journaling cards.
Okay.
And so you can just pop them in. I did it right here. I just popped in some journaling cards and a couple of photos, and I have a page.
You have a
ready to
page
go.
that's fixed and ready to go.
Very quick and easy.
So what are you going to show us here? I was wondering how you were going to show us you punched out the little ears for the Mickey Mouse ears?
I did.
Okay.
Because Creative Memories has a
I'll move
punch
this out of the way.
system. And it simply comes with this handle, which you get, and then you buy different punches. This is a circle.
So this is the one-time purchase, the base of the base, the
Exactly,
handle.
the base.
Okay.
And you simply slide and pop it in.
I heard it. It just slid
It
right in there.
clicked.
Clicky.
And then you would punch your paper. I'm going to turn this as I'm right-handed.
Okay.
And you just punch out
Oh, nice and slick.
your Mickey ears.
Mickey ears.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so the other thing that I did with the scrapbook page in
I
terms
will
of
open it up and show again.
Mickey ears
Right here. We'll
are
go back.
these little Mickey Mouse heads, and I actually made those with the Brothers Scan and Cut machine.
Right.
I welded these circles together in the machine library and put in my paper, black paper, and
Out
cut
it came.
two out. Yes.
And you cut out 2 at the same time, like you can say you want more than 1 at a time?
Right.
Right, okay.
Yeah. You
There
can
you
choose
go.
how many you want, whatever will fit on a 12 by 12 page.
Now I definitely want you to show me how you did
The
this.
watercolor border.
Yes, I love that.
Well, I took the Creative Memories
I'll grab that for you.
border punch, and I took some Canadian Scrapbooker Super Stock,
Nice and
which
heavy.
is nice and heavyweight, and I just punched it out just like this, a long 12-inch strip. And
to create a mask.
Yes,
Yeah.
a mask, a stencil, whatever you want to call it. I took one of my pages from the album, and I just lined this up on the edge. Then my Tombow markers came out. And I have traditional colors, the red, the green, and the blue.
And if you're wondering, look at this array of Tombow markers. Yes, they come in
Yes,
every
so
color.
yummy.
Yes.
Love them. Okay, so then I just, there's 2 ends. There's the brush and the nib. So I use the nib end, and I just basically stenciled around, like drew around, colored these circles
Oh, okay.
in each color. So I'll do a few of the red, and now a few of the blue.
And you're not worrying about it being overly perfect, or?
No, it's watercolor. So
Okay.
watercolor is very forgiving. I love watercolor. It makes me feel free,
Yes, like
like a bird.
a bird, like an artist that's out in the wind,
Yes. Okay.
working with watercolor.
And then I take a blender pen.
Okay.
It's also a Tombow. It's just a clear tip. There's nothing on it. I use some water. So I'll put this on my blending palette. And I basically pick up some water.
I've not seen you do this yet. This is really cool.
And let's just go in with the red. And then you just go around in your circle, and you can add as much water as you want to make it
There you
as
go.
fluid as you like. And then you just color in your border with your marker and your water. And it has, it's not a uniform color tone. It is
Well, you don't want it to be,
No.
right? You want that watercolor
color effect.
effect.
That's what it's all about.
Look at that.
Yeah, right there.
There you go.
And the blender pen, it doesn't stain or anything. You
Oh,
can
is that what you're doing? You're cleaning
you
it right
can
now?
just clean it off and
Before
go
you
on
move
to
on to the next color.
And I just have a scrap piece of watercolor paper. It's already clear. And then I would just go on to the next color and do the blues.
Well, that is fast and fabulous, and watercolor, along with your Tombow markers, your Creative Memories punch, and the pre-designed pages with your own little twist.
Yeah, and the album's done.
And the album's done. That's awesome. going to use stamps, and we're going to add some watercolor to the stamps, along with some cutting using our Brother Scan and Cut, and we're going to play with some Heartfelt Creations and the Big Shot Sizzix die. So I'm really excited about getting started with that.
All right, here's the card I made. It's an easel card.
It's an easel card.
I cut the card out with the Scan and Cut, and I'm going to show you how to cut out how the machine actually scans a stamped image, and I'm going to cut a scallop around it to begin with.
Because it's not just a die cutting machine. One of the big pulls for this machine was the whole idea of it to be able to scan as well.
That's right.
Cool.
So I did stamp with the Everyday Heroes Heartfelt Creations stamp set, and it's right here. I put this on Fab Scraps paper,
Okay.
a piece of pattern paper, and then I'm going to scan it in. So I'm going to choose first my scallop pattern, and it's in the General Shapes library. I'm going to size it to about 3 inches or so, and click Set. And now I'm going to scan my whole sheet. The stamped image is on there.
Right.
So the Brother Scan and Cut machine will pick up that stamped image,
Okay.
and I'll place the scallop around it.
Did you cut this easel card with the Scan and Cut too?
Yes.
Okay.
This shape is in the machine library
as well. Nice,
Yes.
nice. Okay.
Okay, so it shows up here. It's very faint, but you can see the stamped image, and I simply move my scalloped cut file so it is positioned around it, and I can position it with these arrows as well, just so it's a little bit more accurate, and move it there. And I click OK. Now I'm just going to check my blade. My blade can be at a depth to cut this type of pattern paper. It doesn't have to be.
It's a lightweight pattern paper. It's not a heavy, so you adjust the settings of the blade depending on the thickness of the paper that you're using.
Right.
So we're creating this scalloped circle stamped image that she has right here, Kelly has in the middle of the card. And to create this image, we're mostly just standing here doing nothing.
Yes.
It's kind of lazy scrapbooking.
All right, it's finished cutting. I click OK. I unload my mat, and I pop up my scallop piece with the stamp right there in the center.
And that's all it is to it.
Yes.
And it's perfectly placed.
It is. And that's the great thing about this scanning feature on this machine, with working with stamps.
Right.
Now, to do the next piece in the center, I have this beautiful Daisy Heartfelt Creation stamp, and I already cut it out. So this stamp set does come with a die set, so we're going to take that out.
So the stamp set itself, where did that one go? It's right here?
Yes. That's the Delightful Daisy stamp set. So the daisies come in one piece, and then the 2 leaves.
So you didn't stamp those individually. They're actually, oh yes, I see. So you can see that they're nice and big.
Yes.
Okay, this is good to show. You're going to run this through the...
I'm going
sorry.
to... Yeah, that's okay.
I'm already putting stuff away.
You are. You're cleaning up.
I'm cleaning up.
Okay, and then to secure my die in place over the stamped images.
This is where I often make big boo-boos.
Really?
And you just tape it down. Don't be afraid to tape it down.
Don't be afraid. I'm using
so that
washi
it doesn't
tape,
move.
but you can use other tapes. There we go. And the one more
And
tape.
Kelly is working on this line of pattern paper from Fab Scraps.
Love this pattern paper. All right, then I go to my Big Shot.
I'll bring it over. Here it comes.
I'm going to sandwich this in between the 2 plates, like so, and just roll it on through. And give it a good crank, work out your muscles.
You just went from lazy scrapbooking to get an upper
did.
arm workout. Okay, I'll take that away for you.
And then here you have your pieces that should come out. Take off the tape.
Oh,
And all your daisies
goodbye,
come out.
fussy cutting.
Yes, these dies are wonderful. So crisp, and they cut beautifully right through this paper. Nice. Yeah.
So then, Kelly, you are going to add a watercolor feel to these flowers.
I am. I just took my Tombow markers, and I have my Tombow blending palette. I added some water to it with my little spritzer, or you could use a little cup of water. And to get the daisy color of variation, I took a few different yellow colors.
So you're going for that?
Yeah.
Kind of a look, okay.
And I just basically scribbled some colors on the daisy. And like I said, I took 3 shades of yellow.
That looks really messy.
Yeah, it is. Messy is the way I like to scrapbook.
See, I could color like this. I could totally color like this.
You could.
All right.
And let's get a couple of brown tone in the center. Then I will just take a little paintbrush and then add my water, and the watercolors just move and do their magic. And that's all there is to it.
That's perfect. That's actually really perfect, nice and fast and easy. And you know what, and sometimes watercolor can be so intimidating, but I think you took the intimidation totally out of it. Actually, I know she did. Awesome job, Kelly.
Thank you.
Kelly put all of those fabulous watercolor techniques onto this one layout, and you did it, and it still looks fantastic. It doesn't look overdone or anything, so yeah, good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I had lots of fun with these creative memory papers, and I used some super stock. I used the watercolor effect, cut out these circles from the Scan and Cut. I also scanned my Heartfelt Creations circle stamp, cut it out of the Scan and Cut.
Makes the positioning a breeze.
Yes. I added some hand lettering with another Tombow pen. And then I used that Creative Memories border punch stencil that I made.
That's right. Using the border punch right there.
And I did the Tombow watercolor kind of bubble effect.
Right, using your markers.
Yes.
And the stamp that you used here was Heartfelt Creations.
Yeah, the Everyday Hero set.
Everyday Hero, perfect. Right. And of course, you used the May Arts ribbon, because you also used the border punch for from Creative Memories to create this notch.
Yeah, that's the ribbon, kind of the ribbon weave punch. And it's beautiful with this May Arts ribbon.
What is interesting about this layout is to not forget that this is a pre-designed page. Like the red that you see here and the memories, that all came on the page from Creative Memories.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just embellished it up.
Right.
All stuck together using Tombow Extreme Adhesives?
Yes.
There's no reason for you to not start using watercolor techniques. Anyone can do it. You need a marker, some water,
paper,
some paper, and some fun. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, take care and happy scrapbooking.